Godzilla is now in New York City.
Monster 01 and 02, commence the attack.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Stomped This Way. How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty all right.
That's good. Dylan, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
we're good. We're good. It's game 7. Hopefully we don't blow it. So
Yeah, my nerves are a total wreck right now, but we'll worry about that after this podcast. And I am recording this time. The button's red, so we're good.
that's good.
Oh, anyway, so today, Andrew, what are we watching, recording, reviewing today?
Well, what we're reviewing is none other than Jurassic World.
Ooh. Yeah, the this is early on, and I feel like in the kind of the legacy sequel phase of Hollywood. This and Force Awakens, like this is when studios decided that everybody needed a legacy sequel. So
They're like, yes, money.
money. But so what is everyone's kind of history with Jurassic World? I mean, I've seen it a handful of times, and of course I saw it when it came out in theaters back in 2015. Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters when it came out. And I've seen it a handful of times, but that's about it. Just a handful of times.
Just a handful. Andrew, same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's not the one I've seen the most by any stretch, but I've probably seen it. This is the last one I would say that I've actually revisited since theaters. I don't think I've revisited the next two since theaters, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I watched this one. Probably, I don't know. Did we rewatch it before we went and saw Fallen Kingdom?
We might
That
have.
might be the
I don't
that
know.
might be the last
Maybe.
time I rewatched it, because I don't think I rewatched it before Dominion came out.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it since Dominion, but it's been a while since I sat through the
Been a
whole
while.
thing. But anyway, you want a little bit of production trivia?
Tell me about it.
All right. Well, they had planned a fourth Jurassic Park film as early as 2004 with a hopeful release in 2005, but it just kind of one of those things that got stuck in production hell. But in 2013, they got Colin Trevorrow to come on board, and he ran with an idea from Spielberg to explore an operational park. So that's what we got. And filmed from April to August of 2014 in Louisiana and Hawaii. The Main Street and Boardwalk area were constructed and filmed in an abandoned Six Flags park in New Orleans. This is the first film in which a woman dies on screen.
Wow.
So, yeah.
In the franchise?
I'm sorry, what?
In the franchise?
In the whole franchise, yep. According to this. And then I read that and I was like, that can't be true. And then I started thinking back and I was like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But and this was nominated for many awards with a few wins, including a Saturn win for Ty Simpkins as best performance by a young actor.
Oh.
So there you go. Andrew, do you want to read a little bit of box office for us?
I guess I could.
All right, we'll go for it.
This film was released June 12th, 2015.
Yes.
With a budget between 150 and 215 million dollars.
Yeah, they had a range. No one had it nailed down, but
That's a big margin.
it's a
That
pretty
is
big range.
margin. Domestic opening of 208.8 million, a
Wow.
record at the time.
A record it held for all of about 6 months, but
A worldwide opening of 524.4 million, a record at the time also.
Mhm.
And a total US gross of 653 million.
Mhm.
A total worldwide gross of 1.67 billion.
Yep. I mean, if you think about it, 2015 was a pretty crazy year at the box office because you had this break the opening weekend record, and then, like I said, I guess probably about 7 months later, Force Awakens broke it again. So I mean, that was like the glory days.
The
Everybody
glory.
was making money in 2015.
And then 2019 rolled around and it did it too.
Yep, it did in 2019 as well. And
Lots
then
of billion-dollar movies.
and then COVID happened and nobody made money in it. It's very sad.
It's
But-
very-
It happens.
But anyway, let's listen to a trailer and then we will come back and read off the cast and crew, and then we'll read off the plot summary, and we'll get to talking about Jurassic World. Dylan, you may be silent. You may hear silence for about 3 minutes, but we'll bring you back.
Okay.
All right. Here's a trailer, and we'll see you in a bit.
It's not about control. Stand down. It's a relationship based on respect. These animals are thinking, I gotta eat. I gotta hunt. You gotta be able to relate to at least one of those things.
Every time we've unveiled a new attraction, attendance has spiked.
That was awesome.
Corporate felt genetic modification would up the wow factor.
They're dinosaurs. Wow enough.
She was designed to be bigger than the T-Rex.
What happened to the sibling?
She ate it. We have an asset out of containment. What is that?
Her tracking implant. She clawed it out.
How would it know to do that?
She remembered where they put it in.
Oh, God.
She's killing for sport.
You got 20,000 people. You got no more boats. You don't have enough guns.
If we do this my way.
We got eyes on target.
Light it up!
Something's wrong. They're communicating.
We're talking about an animal here.
A highly intelligent animal.
Right, we're back. Did you hear that?
I did not hear the trailer.
No, I'm sorry. Well, it played.
It played.
But anyway, yeah, so cast and crew. This was directed by Colin Trevorrow, written by Rick Jaffa, Amanda Silver, Derek Connolly, and Colin Trevorrow. Music by Michael Giacchino, and starring Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Vincent D'Onofrio, Ty Simpkins, Nick Robinson, Omar Sy, B.D. Wong, and Irfan Khan. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And the plot.
What's the plot then?
The plot is sort of, kind of, as follows. 22 years after the events of Jurassic Park, InGen has successfully opened a dinosaur theme park on Isla Nublar. Managing the park is Claire Deering, and her nephews Zach and Gray are coming for a visit. Also on the island is Navy veteran Owen Grady, who is training velociraptors, whose leader is a raptor named Blue, to follow commands. Claire is preparing a new attraction for the park. The scientists have bred a mega dinosaur called the Indominus Rex, born from a mix of T-Rex and raptor DNA. It is hyper intelligent and super aggressive. While Claire's nephews are running around the park, the Indominus Rex breaks free from containment and goes on a rampage. Claire and Owen go on a quest to save the kids while the boys run from the Indominus. Eventually reunited on the main strip of the park, Claire, Owen, and the kids survive an attack from dinosaurs that escaped from the Avery. During the chaos, Engine's private security wing, led by Vic Hoskins, has taken control of the park. He forces Owen to use his raptors to track the Indominus. However, the Indominus instructs the raptors to turn against their captors, and Engine's men are killed. Owen and Claire take the kids back to the visitor center, where they are confronted by raptors again. The raptors kill Hoskins, but Blue decides to defend Owen from the Indominus. The larger dinosaur easily dispatches the raptors and goes after the humans. Claire orders the T-Rex released from its paddock and leads it to the Indominus so that they will fight. Let them fight. With the help of Blue and the aquatic Mosasaurus, Rexy defeats the Indominus. In the closing moments, the survivors are evacuated, Zach and Grady are reunited with their parents, and Claire and Owen decide to stick together as credits roll. More or less.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much how it goes.
Yep. Anyway, so the film opens with 2 eggs, and one of them is starting to hatch. And you see the little dinosaur eye. And then we get a fake jump scare where a foot comes down, but it's just a bird.
Yep.
And then, we're introduced to this family. The kids, Judy Greer's the mom, and then the kids are, what was his name? Zach and Grady.
Mm-hmm.
And which one was which? Was Zach Nick Robinson, or was he?
Zach's the older one, I think.
Okay. Zach is the older one, and Grady is the younger one. Grady has, I think, a bit of the tism.
Yes.
I think.
Can't say that.
Oh, I can't say. I mean, it's just a short for autism. I mean, we probably all have a bit of the tism, but no, I think he is supposed to be.
He's also very intelligent.
Yeah, he's supposed to be slightly autistic, which I guess also means he's very smart. Although at one point in the movie, he asked like, "How many pounds does the island weigh?"
You see,
Which didn't make any sense. But
well, Zach said that doesn't make any sense.
but
To be fair, looking at the IMDb page, it says his name is Gray.
Was that his name?
Gray?
Oh, I wrote down Gray. I got Gray and Grady confused because
Owen's last name.
Owen's last name is Grady. Whatever. Zach and Gray. Gray's a stupid name anyway.
What kind of name is Gray? It's named after a color.
Yeah. His personality is gray, so they were like, "There you go." Never mind. They named him Gray to offset the fact that he was on the spectrum. But anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so yeah, the family's nice. I like the family dynamic. I mean, I don't like Judy Greer for some reason. She just gets on my nerves every time I see her on a movie on screen.
It's because it had the Halloween trilogy.
It might be, but the family, the kids are fine. I kind of like the dynamic. We're gonna get kind of a character arc for Zach where he's kind of a douchebag to his younger brother and doesn't really want to have to take care of him, but over the course of the film, he'll be nicer to him and, all that. And I think Ty Simpkins and Nick Robinson are both solid in this movie. I think they're probably the best kids we've had in the franchise so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best actors at least. And I think they're a solid addition. Of course, there's the undercurrent that Judy Greer and her husband are getting divorced, and so they're like sending the kids off, I guess, while they
Send
their divorce finalized or something.
Send the kids off to the aunt.
Right.
Yeah, send them off to our favorite actress, Bryce Dallas Howard, who is Claire in this movie. And I think we're introduced to her next, and she's gonna be like this kind of hard ass like park manager. She's very uptight. She dresses very nice, and she's trying to sell a new attraction to some corporate guys. And, Verizon. One of the things I do like about this movie is I like its commentary on commercialism. It's got some pretty good lines. Like, here in a little bit, the one guy in the control room will make the joke, presented by Verizon Wireless or whatever, and or Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex. And then later, Hoskins, he's supposed to be the bad guy, but he's got some pretty good one-liners, and he says something like, "Then you get places like this, charging $7 a soda." Which, when I saw that in the theater, I felt like that was kind of an attack on theaters. But
You're like, I just paid $7 for my soda.
yeah, I did. What did I do? What am I doing here? But,
You know, I will say this. This movie, while the setup for the kids is fine,
yeah,
I think, you know, this movie kind of lacks, you know, a really lacks that opening that like really hooks you, kind of like the original movie, you know, because it like opens up with like the raptor attack in the cage.
yeah.
Like this is missing like that to like really hook you.
Yeah, I agree. And even that second movie had like the little girl getting attacked by the little compies, and then
The third movie opens up with the accident on the boat or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
This one, you just kind of have to be intrigued by like what was hatching out of that egg, I guess.
You're
as
like,
your
oh, there's
pick.
kids.
But I will say one thing I like about this movie is that I think it's about 20 minutes in, or not even 20 minutes. What I'm talking about, it's like, because I think before we even meet Claire, it's like less than 10 minutes into this movie, the kids are on the island, and we get our, you know, welcome to Jurassic World sequence where they're taking the train into the park and, you know, overlooking it and everything. And we get, you know, John Williams' score and everything. And it's like, oh my gosh, I remember. Do you remember? And
Him opening the door or the doors to that like balcony in the hotel room, and then
Yeah.
like that's when the music like fully like swells
yeah.
into the main part of the theme. It's like, all right, that doesn't hit as hard as seeing dinosaurs for the first time on Jurassic Park, though.
No, it doesn't hit quite as
It's still a
as-
really good scene.
but
Don't
it's-
get me wrong. But
yes.
like, they're like, oh my God, he opened the door to a balcony and there's the park. You're like, but it's not dinosaurs.
It's
Come
not
on
the
now.
dinosaur. But I think one of the things I like about this movie too is like if you're a fan of that first movie or even that original trilogy, I think there are really two things you would take away from it that it didn't deliver that you would like to see. And one is, you know, dinosaurs on the mainland, which we did get the San Diego sequence at the end of the second one. But I mean, like, you know, dinosaurs en masse on the mainland. And the other thing is an actual operational park. And so this first movie in this trilogy here is going to give you the operational park, which I think is actually, you know, if you have to make a legacy sequel, which ultimately I'm going to argue not necessary, but if you have to make a legacy sequel, I think that's a cool way to approach it. Is like, what if they actually did open the park? You know, like how would that work? And then it went wrong, but it only went wrong after there's like 20,000 people on the island. And so that's what they're going to do with this movie. And I think that was a good choice. And, you know, once we get to meet Claire and, you know, she's selling the Indominus Rex. And then we're also going to meet our other main character, who is played by the incomparable Chris Pratt. This was during.
Yeah, he doesn't show up till like right at 19 minutes in. This is, I guess you were probably about to say something similar. It's like he was starting to like really make it big. Like Guardians had come out like the year before, and then this came out. And
Yeah, this was like peak
Now
Chris
he's in
Pratt
everything.
era.
now he's in everything.
Now he's, well, yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like people kind of hate Chris Pratt now. I thought, like, everybody loved him for about 5 years there, and now everybody's like, ugh, they cast Chris Pratt in that. But you know, I guess, you know, whatever Batman says, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a hated actor. But
Not quite how it goes, but close enough.
Good enough.
I'm paraphrasing, but anyway, so yeah, he's gonna be like the, you know, the Navy military veteran, tough guy, and he's, I guess, engines into a lot of different ventures, and one of them is, you know, training dinosaurs for the military eventually, and he is training raptors to obey his commands, which is, you know, I mean, I think people, and it does definitely go to silly places in this movie and throughout the trilogy, but I think as a concept, it's kind of neat. Like, what if, you know, you had like a raptor handler? And that's what Owen is in this movie, more or less. But, and he's got his classic, like, hold his hand up and make him pause.
Yeah, his little clicker.
His little clicker. And so, yeah, and then we had the scene, you know, where like the new guy falls in and he has to like go out there and save him. And Hoskins is right there already, and he's introduced too. And he's, you know, like, you know, he's a pretty, I like D'Onofrio because he's like got a lot of good one-liners and stuff. Now he is pretty much just a mustache twirling villain in this movie, but
Yeah.
you know,
He's like, corporate, we do things our way.
yeah. Anyway, so we got all of our main characters together. There's established that Claire and Owen had, I guess they went on one failed date because Claire like printed out an itinerary and was like very uptight, and Owen showed up in like cargo shorts and it's just very like carefree, and so they didn't get along or something. But anyway, so basically the issue of this movie is that there's this new dinosaur, and we get BD Wong returning. You know, he was in one, if you remember that one scene in the original Jurassic Park that he was in, BD Wong comes back as Dr. Wu. Now, if you read the book, he had a much bigger role in the book, and he has bred a super mega dinosaur, and it's called the Indominus Rex, and it's part base DNA
What a
T-Rex.
name.
Yeah, Indominus. Base DNA is T-Rex, then the rest of it is classified. One thing I didn't understand, and I'm jumping ahead here, is like when the CEO goes to BD Wong later and is like, "What did you put in that dinosaur?" And BD Wong is like, "You know, I can't disclose that." You can't disclose it to your own CEO. Like, what's the chain of command around here? But anyway, yeah. So dinosaur, we had the scene where they go to see the new attraction, and it, you know, is like camouflaged and hiding, and then the CEO, who's Irfan Khan, is like, you know, you need to go to Owen and have him check out to make sure the cage is safe or whatever. And so Owen and them show up, and meanwhile the kids have like, Claire has, you know, ditched the kids and stuck them with her assistant or whatever. What's her
Or
name?
British assistant.
Zara or whatever her name was, and the kids have quickly ditched the assistant. And, you know,
But
they have
she's British, and they basically invented nannying.
yeah,
That's a whole joke in the movie.
and you know, they have some bonding moments where they like go see the mosasaur, and they're in the splash zone. I like a lot of the stuff with the park. I think they have some clever stuff, like, you know, just like you'd go to an orca show or whatever, and you have the splash zone. They do the thing with the mosasaur with the splash zone, and then you know, they have like the train that, or the tunnel that you can see the Tyrannosaurus Rex in, and then we'll have here in a little bit, like, this is obviously like sci-fi kind of stuff, but the gyrospheres where they can go in and they're protected by the glass ball or whatever, where they can roll around,
And
and
they have Jimmy Fallon tell him
and they have
instructions.
Jim and Fallon explaining it to him, and it's like, oh god, okay. But yeah, I think a lot of that is fun. I mean, I really like that part of the movie. And then we had to get to
Well,
the
I mean, it's just a cool concept, you know, because especially if, like you said earlier, like if you're a fan of these movies, it's a neat concept. Like, what if there was an operational park, and we get to actually see what an operational park would look like? So we get to see all the different attractions and things like that. It's basically like SeaWorld and a zoo had a baby,
yeah,
but they're
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
no, they're dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. And but you know, I was thinking the first two movies, it took over an hour or about an hour in those first two movies for things to go wrong, for, you know, the T-Rex to break out, or
This is right about 40 minutes in, I think.
as I think about 35, 40 minutes in, when the Indominus Rex, they, you know, Owen shows up to do his inspection, and Claire like looks for its heat signature, but she can't find it. And then she's like driving back to the headquarters or the control room or whatever, and like calling them, while Owen and a couple of maintenance guys go in to look for see what happened. Which, my thing is like, why didn't she just call the control room from right there and then, and, you know, ensure where that tracker was before they went in to check the cage? But, you know, whatever. Anyway, Owen and them go in, and of course she's on the phone with the control room, and they're like, the call is coming from inside the house, or, you know, their version of that. And the tracker's still in the cage, and you know, it tricked him because it clawed up the wall like it had tried to claw up the fence, or get over the wall, but in fact it was all a ruse, and it's still inside. And gets the two
A
maintenance
very
guys.
smart dinosaur.
Super smart dinosaur.
Well, it gets one of them, and then the other one panics and
Yeah.
opens the main gate.
He opens he opens the gate, and then the control room tries to close it, but Owen sneaks through, but it doesn't close in time, and so then the Indominus Rex gets out and it eats the stupid one, and then Owen covers himself in gasoline and hides under a car, and it passes him by. But now it's free, and we're gonna get into the second act of this movie where the engine guys are gonna go out and try to get it, but it clawed its tracker out, and so it eats them. And
There's not the engine guys. There's the park team.
well, they're all working for engine now. The engine private security will come in later.
Yeah.
That's the Hoskins team of people. I guess it's all engine, as far as I could tell. This new guy was the new CEO of engine, and I think it was just a bunch of different divisions of engine working together. But anyway, they get eaten, and the kids, they're still in their gyrosphere, and they recalled everybody, but the kids are like, no, we're going to go off-roading instead. And so, they're going, and they run into a pack of ankylosaurs or something, and the Indominus shows up and almost gets them.
Kills one, the ankylosaurus.
Yep, and crushes their gyrosphere, but they get away, and it chases them over a waterfall. And then, now Claire is desperate for someone to help her find her nephew, so she goes and gets Owen. It's like, we're going to go find these kids. One thing that is dumb is that Claire, the whole movie runs around in high heels, and at some point you're like, it's got to be easier to take those shoes off than to walk around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She runs around, even at the very end of the movie, she's running in front of that T-Rex, and she's still got her heels on. I'm like, why don't you take them off and run barefoot?
Yeah, and walking through the forest and everything in those high heels, there's just no way. There is no way. But
where's her assistant to get her some different shoes?
Yeah, well, her assistant's looking for those kids, and her assistant will be the one female that dies on screen in the franchise. But
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, they go looking, and of course they have their runs in with the Indominus and blah blah blah, and the second act is mostly just everybody running around trying to get the dinosaur, trying not to get eaten by the dinosaur, and eventually the kids hot wire a Jeep or something, and
one of the old Jeeps.
Yeah, we have our nostalgia moment where they go in and find the old maintenance shed for the old park or whatever, and you have the old logos and stuff, and then they have another bonding moment where they fix this Jeep and they drive off, and then Owen and Claire follow them, but they almost get eaten. But then the CEO, Irfan Khan, I like him in this movie. He's the CEO, but he's an ambivalent CEO, or not ambivalent, but he's a good guy, kind of. And he makes a lot of jokes, and he's trying to learn how to fly helicopters. And there was a joke earlier about how he made his trainers air sick riding the helicopter, but now they mount a gun to the helicopter, and he's the only one that can fly him around and shoot at the dinosaur. And this is where they go, and it gets into the aviary, and then the flying dinosaurs get loose and cause them to crash. And now
this is the second aviary we've had, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, after the third movie.
Yeah.
And
in 2 movies.
Looks like there's one dinosaur in there. We'll talk about creature design. I think they were crossbreeding dinosaurs. It looks like maybe it was a real dinosaur.
Is it about this one that looks like it's like a T-Rex head on a bird body?
Yeah. It's kind of weird. But
they were crossbreeding things.
Well, and like BD Wong says, Jurassic Park never had any real dinosaurs. These are all, genetically modified theme park attractions. But which is a big theme in Jurassic Park. It's not real. It's just science running amok. But anyway, so the birds are free, and now they've crammed all 20,000 guests into the main boardwalk.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're just a buffet waiting for these pteranodons and stuff. And
pterodactyls,
pteranodon,
all things.
Whatever those things are. And so then we have our big scene. If you're gonna have an open park, you gotta have a scene where 20,000 people are getting attacked at once. And so here it is, getting eaten by the birds.
Oh yeah.
And this is where eventually all the characters eventually get back to the main strip during this scene, and this is where the assistant she gets killed pretty viciously. Like she gets picked up by one and they get thrown around a little bit, and then she gets dropped in the water and almost drowned, and then picked back up and then like speared, and it's pretty.
And then gets eaten.
Oh, and then she gets eaten by the mesosaur, yeah, because it comes up to eat the pterodactyl. So yeah,
Nice.
That's a pretty rough way for her to go as the first woman to die in the Jurassic Park franchise. But anyway, yeah, so then all the characters are back together, and eventually they go out and kind of clear the birds off, and then Hoskins comes in. He's gonna make Owen use his raptors to track down the Indominus, and so they're gonna have the scene where they go out and the raptors are, they caught the scent. They're like a bunch of bloodhounds, and they go and find the Indominus, but the big secret, the big classification was that it's actually part raptor. So it speaks to the raptors and tells them to kill the humans. And so, then we have every good Jurassic Park movie's got to have a raptor attack scene. So we go through that whole exercise. One thing I will say that's kind of frustrating about this scene is that I can't tell the raptors apart. So at one point,
No, they're like impossible to tell apart.
especially in the dark. At one point, one of them gets blown up by a bazooka, and I was like, "Was that Blue?"
I think that was Echo.
I think it was. I guess not
Well,
Blue.
they're supposed to. You're supposed to be able to tell which one's which by the cameras on their head, because it usually cuts to the shot of them attacking whoever they're attacking with the camera that's on their head.
Yeah. Does it have their
But-
name on the camera screen?
Yeah, it's like each camera has which raptor it is. So it's like Raptor Echo, Raptor Charlie.
Oh, I guess I wasn't paying attention to that, but okay. Well, all we know is that Blue does not die in this sequence here, but
No, but I also thought it was Blue because like they don't always do that whenever they're showing like a kill or whatever.
yeah.
And yeah, like the raptor walks up to him, he's like, "Hey now," then boom, blows up. I'm like, "Oh, okay, Blue just died."
Yeah.
A bazooka just came.
But anyway, so that happens, but then Owen gets back and Claire's got like a truck that she's got the kids in the back of, and they go on a chase, and the raptors are chasing them and blah blah blah, but they get away and they drive back to the visitor center, and Hoskins is there, and like they've cleared out BD Wong and all the scientists, and he's there like getting the last of the stuff, and he's gonna like the raptors are gonna come in, and he's gonna like try to talk to one of the raptors, and of course it promptly like eats him, and so Hoskins dies, and
Deserved.
yeah. And then the raptors are going to chase him outside, and the Rex is going to show up, but we got our little sweet moment where Blue decides she chooses Owen over the Indominus, which is like, aw,
Wow.
how sweet.
Because
And
he
then-
imprinted on her when she was young.
He's imprinted on them. And the raptors promptly get like swatted to the side. The Rex, just getting the people. And then we get our big finale, which is like, I can see people feeling two different ways about it. Because listen, this finale does, I will 100% admit, go full blown cheese, like WTF, where the dinosaurs are going to tag team the Indominus. But to me, it reminds me of just like a giant kaiju fight. So I'm like, I'm here for
Oh
it.
yeah, it's 100% like a kaiju fight. They're like,
Oh,
"All right,
yeah.
guys, let them fight."
Yeah,
Let
so
them fight.
Claire's gonna go and like unlock paddock 9, and so the Giga guy in the control room is like, okay.
I do remember that. I feel like I remember that shot being in the trailer where the gate opens up and she's standing there with the flare.
I think it was
from,
in one
like,
of the
the-
trailers.
It was,
OG
I'm
trailer or
pretty
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah. And so she's gonna, of course, people make fun of this, outrun a T-Rex in high heels, but
She's a strong, independent woman in high heels. She don't need no man
they're right. And
except
so-
for Owen.
except for Owen, obviously, because even at one point in the movie, the kids were like, "Can we stay with you?" or something, and she's like, "I will never leave you again." And they're like, "No, him." But anyway, so she leaves the Rexy. I guess the movie doesn't, I don't think, ever like specifically say that this is the same T-Rex, but it's being confirmed outside of the movie, I guess, that this is in fact Rexy. But anyway,
Who else would it be?
who else would it be? Exactly. I don't know. There were like 2 T-Rexes on Island B, which is never mentioned in this movie, by the way. But
Yeah. A forgotten island.
yeah. But no, so they get into a fight, and at first, she's kind of getting beat up, but then you get that shot of with the music swells and Blue is just like running down the main strip and
Yeah.
and jumps on his head, and then Rexy gets back up and starts kicking butt, and they push it back to the shore of the lake or whatever, and the Mesosaur just
the edge of the tank is in.
Yeah, and Mosasaur just jumps up and grabs it and drags it underwater, and woohoo, victory. And like I said, I mean, total cheesy like ending, but also like I love it. I love the
They're like, all right,
nostalgia.
guys, we've been quote unquote grounded till now. Let's just have a giant monster fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love it. I when I first saw that scene in the theater, I was like, I feel like up to that point I was kind of like the movie's fine, whatever. And then that last 15 minutes, I was like, this might be the
You're
greatest.
like, yeah.
This might be the greatest movie ever made. I don't know.
I love this.
But anyway, and then our characters have our little wrap up. The ships come to get all the surviving humans, and the parents come and get the kids, and Claire and Owen are like, we're gonna stick together, and the end, I guess.
You
But
think with the parents showing back up and having to go through all that, you think they stayed together now?
no,
No.
they definitely got divorced. But
We love you so much. We're getting divorced.
we're
now.
getting divorced.
We're still getting divorced.
But it doesn't matter because Claire and Owen got together. So see, you lose one marriage, you gain another. But
You lose a marriage, you gain an. What would that be? That wouldn't be an uncle, no.
I mean, it's like a I don't know. He's not an uncle yet. They're not married.
yeah,
That's
he'll be an
true.
uncle when they
He
get
could.
married.
He could be an uncle, maybe eventually.
So yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't really talk about the acting other than the kids. What do you think about our main stars, Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt?
It's all right. I mean, they're both. I mean, Chris Pratt is a fairly charismatic actor. I mean,
Yeah,
he's especially during this time, he's hard not to like. And Bryce Dallas Howard is I mean, she is a good actress. I've seen her in other things where she's a good actress. I don't know if I buy their chemistry a whole lot as much in this movie. I think it's okay at best.
yeah. One thing I
It
noticed.
feels a little forced.
Yeah. One thing I noticed watching it this time, I got really annoyed with Chris Pratt's like line deliveries where he would like he did it all the time where he would like point and make like direct eye contact and talk in that real slow voice. Like, I don't remember what the lines were exactly, but like, if you release this dinosaur, she is going to eat everything. Or, she's figuring out where she's at on the food chain. And I don't think you want to find out. Just the way he like delivered all those lines and the kind of like that condescending, I'm talking to a child way. I don't know. After a while, it's kind of got annoying, but
Sometimes you had to talk like that to corporate.
I guess so. And then Bryce, yeah, I thought Bryce was fine. I mean, other than the running around on the high heels, but that wasn't her fault. That was the director's fault. But I thought she was fine in this movie. I thought she pulled off like the cold corporate type pretty well.
Yeah.
But anyway, you want to do a little bit of creature design?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Talk
Well,
about it.
I mean, the dinosaurs, mostly all the same dinosaurs we've seen before. Rexy still looks like Rexy, a little older, maybe a little more scarred,
Yeah.
battle scarred. I really like Rexy in this movie. The Raptors. Now the Raptors, they have like those, especially Blue, have like those color streaks, kind of like in part 3, just with that little hair sticking out on top of their head. But I like Blue and I like the Raptors in this movie. I think they look really good. And then of course all the other dinosaurs. We talked about the pterodactyl, like the one that's like a T-Rex and pterodactyl crossbreed. It's kind of funny looking.
Yeah.
The head just looks so out of
It really
place.
it literally looks like they have a T-Rex head
Yeah.
on a freaking pterodactyl body.
It looks like the head would be too heavy for those wings.
It looks disproportional. It
Right?
looks odd.
It's like, is that thing gonna flop over?
Yeah. But I guess the big one we have to talk about is and then there's the mosasaur, obviously, which is the big, like crocodile Nessie thing. But the big one we got to talk about is the Indominus. I like the Indominus. I mean,
It
it's
looks
kind of
cool.
like a T-Rex, but with like a longer snout.
And it's white.
It's bigger. It's white. It kind of camouflages and blends in with its surroundings. I like the Indominus. What do you think?
I think it looks good. I mean, I could see like where like the entire time. Well, one thing I'll say, I mean, before we kind of talk about his creatures, I like the fact that they kind of hide the Indominus Rex and never show a full shot of it for like the first, I don't know, 15 or so minutes that it's in the movie. Like you don't get a really good clear look at it for a while.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. But once you finally get that look at it, I mean, you can definitely tell that, especially after they make the realization that it's part raptor. You're like, okay, yeah, you can kind of see it because it's kind of got the fringe on its back, like that reminds me of the raptors from the third movie where they have like the brazen raider or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, it kind of makes sense. But I mean, I think it looks good. It's albino. It's got some neat, features about it things that it can do. So I mean, they came with a pretty clever dinosaur. I think for the most part, it does its job effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I like the Indominus, and I like all the other dinosaurs in this movie.
Got a stupid name.
The Indominus. You don't like Indominus?
Indominus
What-
Rex.
I mean, I think all the names that they came up with for the dinosaurs in this trilogy are pretty stupid. I mean, like we'll talk about the next movie, but like the Indoraptor, like what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Indoraptor.
I mean, they tease it in this movie. I guess I had kind of forgotten, but like at the end when they're talking about the thing on the computer screen, and he's like, it's just like a smaller version of the Indominus Rex. So I guess they'd already teased that out for the next movie. But special effects, I think, I mean, largely good in this movie. I mean, I'll say the same thing that I did about the other older Jurassic Park movies, is that the CGI is mostly really good. There are scenes where I'm like, that could have looked better. But
Speaking of the bird scenes, I think the scenes with like in the aviary,
yeah,
those I think don't hold up 10 years later very well. Like the shot of the specific dinosaur that we've mentioned multiple times, it has like the T-Rex head or whatever.
Yeah,
he looks a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, and I was thinking like there's some shots of like some herds of herbivores in the broad daylight that don't look all that great, or I didn't think looked all that great. But for the most part, everything with the Indominus looks great. Everything with Rexy looks great. The raptors. And a lot of the movie takes place at night, so they can hide some of it. But and like I said, the animatronics in this movie, they're used more sparingly in this movie than in past movies. But you have like the dying Bronchiosaur or whatever, and there's a couple of other sequences with the raptors. I think are animatronic every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think the animatronics look good when they're used, but effects overall, I think there was a couple of scenes where they're like. The actors are like obviously standing in front of green screens, but overall really good. And score, obviously I love the Williams stuff, and I think it's used to great effect in this movie. I actually also really like Giacchino's music that he did for this movie. Like the main theme that he did for this movie is, I think, really good. I mean, it's reminiscent of Williams without just being a straight, rip off of Williams. Kind of like I feel like they're doing with this new Superman movie, but I guess that's a different conversation. But yeah,
no, I mean his score's pretty good. I mean he does pretty good. He does a pretty good job with it. I mean overall, a lot of it is some variations on John Williams themes, but it's better than just straight up copying it.
Yeah,
and trying to say that you're coming up with something new.
Yeah, yeah. But
which Michael Giacchino's pretty good at. I mean, he's done that with this. He's done that with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah, he's This was back in that period. There was a period of time where I felt like Giacchino was doing every blockbuster. It's kind of died down now, but yeah, I think he does a good job. So anyway, you guys want to do some final thoughts and get to this game 7?
Let's hear it.
Well,
Andrew. Well,
and yeah, like I said, this is a good movie. It's a decent in the Jurassic Park franchise. I enjoy it. The effects in it are not terrible. Some things are a little glossy. Some like the T-Rex pterodactyl hybrid thing. Looked a little wonky, but get over that pretty easily.
Yeah.
And the score in this, like I've said, the score is pretty good. It has that John Williams-esque like to it without ripping him off totally.
Yeah.
And the acting in this movie, it's serviceable. It's pretty good. Some of the stuff doesn't hit that good, but most of it is, it's pretty good. Hits where it needs to hit, and all that good stuff. And I liked all the designs of the dinosaurs in this. I like the Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex.
Indominus Rex. The T-Rex, of course, I enjoyed seeing the T-Rex again. And the raptors all look good, and all the other stuff looked pretty good. Some of the background dinosaurs look a little glossy at times, but get over that. I think I'll give this movie, I'll give it a solid B.
All right, Dylan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think the movie still holds up pretty well about 10 years later. The story at its core is pretty, in my opinion, kind of similar to the first one. I mean, it's about except for the fact that there's a working park this time around. I mean, people show up to the park and big dinosaur breaks out and shit goes wrong. Excuse my language, but we add in the neat added element of the fact that like we've already talked about, this is a functional park for the first time in franchise history, and it brings in a lot of really really neat things to see, neat attractions that have some really cool imagery. I mean, like some of the shots, like I think the mosasaur shots, like where it comes up out of the water, looks really cool. They lower the stadium seats down and it's under the water. I think that's a really cool shot. And just the park as a whole, getting to see something that's operational is just a really neat concept. Our characters are somewhat one-dimensional to a degree, and that's probably my biggest problem with the movie. The only person I feel like that has like a real character arc kind of is the older brother, Zach. He learns to not be a douche and love his brother by the end of the movie, I guess. But other than that, everyone kind of seems to be roughly the same. Owen and Claire, their chemistry and relationship feels a little forced to me, but it's serviceable enough for the film that we're in. Effects still hold up pretty well, minus a few, questionable CGI shots here or there. One thing I don't think we really mentioned was there's this scene where Grady and Claire are there after the Indominus Rex or whatever. He like attacks, I guess, with the Brachiosaurus, and they're all like laying on the ground, and one of them's dying. That's like a practical dinosaur, which is it looks really good. And the score is pretty serviceable for the movie. Michael Giacchino does a good job, kind of coming up with his own variations on themes of John Williams' score from the original, as well as reusing John Williams' main themes too. Overall, it adds to the movie pretty well. All the new dinosaurs look really cool. The Indominus Rex is a neat antagonist for this film, and seeing Rexy come back and kind of getting to be like the anti-hero in this film instead of the main villain, and helping him defeat the bigger dinosaur at the end is a nice touch with the basically a kaiju fight at the end. But overall, a pretty entertaining movie, despite a few mostly flaws in the writing, but very entertaining. We'll rank them at the end, I'm sure, of us reviewing the franchise, but this is probably, in my opinion, the second best Jurassic Park movie after the first one. Now there's a pretty big margin there, but I don't hate this movie at all. I mean, it's pretty entertaining for what it is. Absolutely. So I mean, honestly, I would probably give it like an A-.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think one thing that helps this movie, we talked about legacy sequels and stuff at the beginning. I think that the fact that this movie doesn't have any legacy human characters actually really benefits this movie. It has the nostalgia.
Don't worry, they're coming.
Yeah, they're coming. It has the nostalgia with the park and the dinosaurs and bringing back Rexy and all that, and the music, of course. But it doesn't get bogged down in trying to fit in a bunch of, like old people from old movies with a bunch of new people and trying to like, bring all these characters together and fit them all together. And instead is able to just focus on a new set of characters dealing with dinosaurs. And I think that's really beneficial to this movie. And yeah, like you guys said, I enjoy this movie a lot. I mean, yes, there are cheesy elements with the dinosaurs, like, teaming up like a WWE fight, and some of the high heels being running around in the whole movie in high heels, and some of the character choices and all of this and that, and the mustache twirling, bad guy in D'Onofrio. But there's a lot to like in this movie. Like I said, it really does a great job realizing the idea of an open functioning theme park. I love the kaiju style just throwdown at the end of this movie. I think it's got about the right amount of nostalgia without just like burning you out with it. And, it's got a solid cast. I mean, like I said, I don't love Chris Pratt's character in this movie. I think that Bryce Dallas Howard is just a little more than functional in this movie. I think the kids are actually do a really good job in this movie, and give the movie some heart that it otherwise wouldn't have had. But yeah, I'm with you. I enjoy this movie quite a lot. I think it's easily the second best Jurassic Park movie, and I'll give it an A- as well. So nice. But anyway, some brief news real quick. They did release a new trailer for season 2 of Kaiju number 8. It will premiere on Crunchyroll on July 19th. So be on the lookout for that. They've announced a Godzilla Lego set. I think it's like of the MonsterVerse Godzilla. So cool. I think it's the first Godzilla Lego set. And then
the first official Godzilla.
Official. And then the sequel to Godzilla Minus One will begin filming in August of this year. So it'll probably still beat Supernova to the big screen, I'm sure. But anyway, Dylan, I was telling Andrew, they're doing that G-Fest, they're doing that Ultraman thing. They're gonna do some live stage production. So
of
Ultraman.
Oh no.
So I'm sure me and Andrew had to check that out.
We had to check that out.
Oh no.
It's gonna be amazing. But anyway, so we're not gonna do a double feature this week. We're gonna just do the one episode over Jurassic World, and then we're gonna have to try to do a double feature maybe next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend's a good weekend for it though. There's nothing going on. NBA season will be over.
Yeah.
It'll be before 4th of July.
Yeah.
Before the next movie comes out.
Yeah.
So should be a good weekend to catch up.
Yeah. So it'll be Fallen Kingdom and Dominion sometime next week. Be on the lookout for those.
I need to track down a copy of that movie.
Dominion?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can stream it somewhere.
I mean, I think they're on Peacock, but I don't have my internet set up yet, so.
Oh.
Oh.
I get Dobson tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
First time in my life I've ever had fiber internet. But
you're gonna have good internet for the first time ever.
I know. I'm so excited. But anyway, we need to get to this game. So, like I said, next weekend it is Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, and yeah. So as always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dylan, and we'll catch you the next one.